Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 19th, 2022 meeting of the Camden County Board of Education. I'd like to ask if there is any consideration for open session agenda changes.
Add a high school update. Please.
So Dr. Banks is adding a high school update that will be under information updates, item G,
Should be probably more specific. High school construction.
high school construction update. Any other changes or considerations for open session? Seeing none, entertain a motion to accept the open session agenda as amended. Motion by Ms. Abbott to accept the May 19th, 2022 meeting of the Camden County Board of Education agenda as amended.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purcell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Everyone, would please take a moment of silence. Thank you. Dr. Farrell, has anyone sign up for public comment?
No, sir.
Everyone could please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For our board spotlight tonight, I'd like to call Master Chief Dupree to come join me first. As many of you already know, the Camden County Teacher of the Year event was on May 4th, and Master Chief Lyndon Dupree was named the district's 2022-23 Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Thanks.
At the event that evening, Master Chief received a plaque, an iPad, and a $600 stipend. District Teacher of the Year is a top honor among teachers and is not easily attained. Teachers nominate teachers. This is a peer recognition honor. So tonight, the Camden County Board of Education would like to congratulate Master Chief Dupree for being our 2022-23 District Teacher of the Year recipient. Master Chief is many things. He is instructor of our JROTC program, which allows him the opportunity to mentor and help students map out successful futures. He is a United States Coast Guard veteran who retired after 27 years of service to our country. But he is first a dedicated father of three and husband to Tony Dupree, who is also a Camden County Schools teacher. So, Master Chief, on behalf of the Camden County Board of Education, I congratulate you for your new title, and we thank you for your leadership, which is a daily demonstrated of your dedication and commitment to our students. So for that, we have a small
Thanks, sir.
certificate for a board spotlight.
You got it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And you,
Sure. So I didn't really come prepared to speak, but I'll say just a couple of words real quick. It's very humbling to receive the recognition as Teacher of the Year, not only for the high school, but for the district. I don't put myself on par with any of the teachers that were in there. It's an amazing job that I have. I feel exceptionally fortunate, as late in life as I have, or as that I am, to be a part of not only the school system, but to have the peers and coworkers that I have. You know that when you join the Coast Guard, you somewhat lose your family that you have, your immediate family. So when I left when I was 19 years old, that was really goodbye for me. So for the next 28 to 30 years, and finally settling here in Camden County, I have found my new family, and that is no joke. That is a heartfelt, real thing for me. I feel like this is the absolute job of a lifetime. That was one of the things that I wrote when they were asking me to write about what I thought about my job. It's the job of a lifetime for me, and I love it. One other thing, just really fast. There's a couple of things that are really, really gratifying for me to watch. This week, I had the opportunity to watch two of our previous cadets walk across the graduation stage at the Coast Guard Academy. And while that, we've been very successful at getting cadets to go to the Coast Guard Academy. There's no doubt about that. But it's no small feat. Even though it seems like it's becoming old hat to us here, it's a tremendous amount of work that goes into, and it starts in the 9th grade, even before that for some of them. But to watch Bladen Harnley and Dominic Balone walk across that stage and shake the vice president's hand today, and know that I had just a small part of that, man, that's such a gratifying feeling. And this year we had three cadets that got selected to go to the Coast Guard Academy. And Mara will attest to this. When I got the call from the Coast Guard Academy, and they asked me, they said, "Hey, can you pull up one of your students' grades for me?" This was a student that got waitlisted for the Coast Guard Academy. And I'm like, all right, sure. So I pull up the grades, and they're asking me about it. And they're like, I had just sent an email to them, and I was just like, come on, man, this girl deserves it. She needs to go. Make it happen. That was the email that I had sent the day before. And then the next day I got the call, and it just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up just to see who it was on the phone. And then for him to come up and say, all right, do you want to notify her, or do you want me to notify her? I'm like, oh my God, yes, please let me notify her. I don't ever get that opportunity to do that. And it did. It just warms my heart. So I went over and I saw Mara. I'm like, Mara, I said, you got to make an announcement. There's no way I could voice this over the intercom. As Miss Yolanda will attest, I get fairly emotional with those types of things. So I typed it all out, and then I ran back over to my room and I videoed her response to hearing that she was selected for the academy. It's crazy cool to watch them go through that. So it's for those kids, and not only for the ones that go to the academy. There are so many other ones. Even our special needs kids that we have out there, to see them attain the recognition that they got tonight, man, that's just why we're in business. It's so incredibly gratifying to watch, and to see the dads up there and to know that you play a small part in their success is why we do these things. So I'm privileged to be here. I'm privileged to be called a teacher of Camden County High School, and I thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Also tonight, the Camden County Board of Education would like to recognize Miss Lisa Watson. If you will come join me. She currently serves as our reading and math intervention teacher at Grandy Primary School. Her passion to support teachers, parents, and students is remarkable. When a student is not showing growth or being successful, she makes it her priority to find the solution. And this year, Ms. Watson has served 80 to 100 students. Her schedule keeps her going before the late bell in the morning until after the school is released in the afternoon. Ms. Watson believes in early intervention and targets our kindergarten and first grade students often and as early as possible. She helps to give our students a solid foundation and quickly provides interventions to close any achievement gaps that a child may have. She is also a strong school leader who is well respected by her peers. Ms. Watson has led several trainings this year on MTSS, M-Class, and is currently being trained to help support the implementation of letters next year. She takes what she does extremely seriously and advocates for her students. Our parents are happy with the growth they have seen in their students and the support they have received from Ms. Watson. This year, she also organized a parent night with games, food, prizes, and more importantly, strategies for parents to help their children at home. She loves being a teacher, and that's in all capital letters on here. She sees what she does and the hours she puts in as her responsibility and her calling. These are some of the reasons why Ms. Watson has been named the Camden County 2022-23 Employee of the Year for Certified Staff. Ms. Watson is very deserving of this award, but if asked, she would just say, "I'm just doing my job. Give that award to someone else." So, Ms. Watson, on behalf of the Camden County Board of Education, we congratulate you and thank you for all you do for your students, staff, and parents.
Thank you.
I'd like to present you with your plaque for Camden County Schools Employee of the Year.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't have to speak.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
But it is my dream job and I love what I do. So thank you.
Now I would like to ask Miss Wendy Wheeler to come join me. So tonight, the Camden County Board of Education would like to recognize Wendy Wheeler for her continuing support and hard work in our transportation department, where she has been employed since November of 2016. Ms. Wheeler is a person with many duties in her daily schedule. She is the TIMS routing coordinator, cost clerk, and transportation secretary. She also performs tasks from co-managing the transportation department in the absence of the director to driving the special needs bus in the absence of the driver. Ms. Wheeler is the voice you hear during the Bright Arrow transportation announcements and the welcoming voice you hear when calling the transportation office. Her communication skills add a warm welcome to anyone who calls or comes to the office. Ms. Wheeler brings peace and joy to the bus garage every day. She is always ready to greet the transportation staff with TGIF when walking into the garage on the last day of the week. This doesn't necessarily have to be on Friday. She is a very important part of the transportation department and offers daily support to our staff and students. She is the type of coworker that you never want to be without. She is also the type of coworker that you hope retires after you. In the words of Larry Lawrence, we can't teach them if we can't get them to school. Wendy Wheeler is much more than a staff member to Camden County Schools. She is the glue that holds the transportation department together. She is a very important team member in ensuring that we get the students to and from school. So, Ms. Wheeler, on behalf of the Camden County Board of Education and with the support of the entire transportation team, it is our honor to announce that you are the 2022-23 Employee of the Year for classified staff. So we have a plaque for you for Employee of the Year. Congratulations. You're welcome. Oh, we gotta get pictures.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Very
Thank you.
good. You are the same. If I could ask Morgan Bruton to join me. So as we all know, Morgan is she's our junior student board member. She also began her position on September 9th, 2021, and tonight will be her last board meeting because she and her family will be moving over the summer. Morgan has proven to be very dedicated in her role as a board member and has worked hard each month to provide the board with very detailed updates on important events and opportunities in all of our schools. Morgan, the board thanks you for your strong communication skills that have helped keep us informed. Morgan has been very successful during her 3 years here in high school. Just to share a few highlights of her time here, she has been a member of the U.S. Coast Guard JROTC program all 3 years and is a first-class petty officer this year. She has been a member of the National Honor Society for 2 years. Morgan loves sports. She was a member of the cross-country team for 2 years and was a 2020-2021 member of the track and field team. Also, she has been a member of and pitcher for the Lady Bruins softball team all 3 years, and during this time, the Lady Bruins have been conference champions, and we all remember that last year, the Lady Bruins were the regional and state champions, giving Camden County its first state championship in any team sport in school history. So Morgan, the Camden County Board of Education is certain your success will continue beyond Camden County High School. Just know we wish you much success in all you do in your job, and there is no question that you have a bright future ahead. And we ask that you accept this plaque as a token of our appreciation for your board service. So presented to Morgan Bruton in grateful appreciation of your service as a student board member of the Camden County Board of Education, September 9th, 2021 through May 19th, 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you going to take a picture?
Yes,
Okay.
we always have to take a picture.
All right. Thank you.
Now, Miss Libby Coker. So Libby is our senior student board member. She began her position on September 9th, 2021, and tonight will be her last board meeting. Libby graciously assumed the role of senior student board member with little notice and immediately demonstrating her strong leadership skills by meeting and exceeding the duties of her role, all for the benefit of the board. Libby came to Camden County Schools as a kindergarten student and is now a soon-to-be graduating senior. During her years with us, she has been a strong student, athlete, club member, and a volunteer in addition to her commitments outside of school, at home, and at church. Libby is a FCA member and leader, a member of National Honor Society, where she has been the secretary since 2020, a member of the Spanish Honor Society, a Camden County High School cheerleader and varsity captain of the squad, and has participated in the Children's Summer Bruin Cheer Camp. She was on the Wall of Fame in 2019 during the third 9 weeks, at which time she received special recognition for her character. Last year, Libby served as a junior marshal. She is a member of the Sawyers Creek Baptist Youth Group and volunteers at its Food Bank. And in 2019, she volunteered at the Woodstock Women and Children's Shelter Summer Camp in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So Libby, on behalf of the board, I congratulate you on your successes thus far, but we are of the opinion that wherever you go and whatever you do, you will do well and that you will know success both personally and professionally. We'd like for you to accept this plaque of appreciation. Presented to Libby Coker in grateful appreciation of your service as student board member of the Camden County Board of Education from September 9th, 2021 through May 19th of 2022.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Open session to appear.
No one has requested to appear.
Consent agenda. Motion by Ms. Abbott to approve the consent agenda as presented. Seconded by Mr. Purcell. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Information update, school safety and security update, Mr. Mike Lawrence.
Good evening.
Just a quick update on the strategic plan on goal 1. We have completed a physical assessment. Buddy and I and the maintenance department and Dr. Farrell have identified some areas that we need to address. We're getting quotes on some of it, and some of it we can do in-house. We can handle with our own people. And so we're starting to work on that. Goal 1.2, training with Ms. Lasher and Anna and Ms. Barry. We've identified some dates for a CPR, friends and family, and also some certified CPR this spring. I think Laura sent out a thing today, the 31st of May and June 1st. And then the second session will be in June when they come back. Also, we have laid out a lesson plan for a school safety and security training session when they come back. We're going to do K through 6th in the morning, 7th through 12th after lunch. We're going to go over policy and procedure, talk about their roles as teacher and different staff, and actually do some tabletop drills and plan some of that stuff out. Also, the 100, 200 is being completed by the administrators in central office, so that should be done by June 30th. I think we've been pushing pretty hard for that. And then Mr. Miller here is going to be certified to teach 300. And so over the summertime, Dr. Farrell's going to set a time and get with Ms. Davis, and we're going to take care of ICS 300, Incident Command 300. And then we're setting out some time, teachers, when they come back, have some teacher work days, but we're also putting a lot on them. But they're also going to have to knock out 100 and 200 fairly quickly, if not before the start of school, and be done with it. So there's that. And one thing we're really going to kind of stress as we go through some of this stuff is really going to start to get away from active shooter part and really go more to active threat, just because it's not always, doesn't have to be a gun, right? Something else. So we're going to try to be shifting the terminology away from that a little bit, as it seems to be the trend we're going, and different on the base in Norfolk. There's stuff that happens on a fairly regular time. So we're just shifting away from that. Any questions?
Thank you.
And we have started on the trailer, the reunification trailer. We've made some progress on that. I know that was a question last time, so that has been addressed. Almost forgot, but I got you.
Thank you, Mike.
School highlights, Ms. Lisa Farrell, principal of Camden Intermediate School.
Good evening. I wanted to say thank you to the board members, Dr. Farrell, for their support this year. Every time CIS needed something, you were there to help us, and we really appreciate that. I also want to thank all the cabinet members, directors, and central office staff for their support. I'll let you see my video first. Okay, well, I want to thank them. I just wanted to give a big shout out to the central office staff. I'd also like to thank the other principals in the county for being there to support me. Thank you very much. I also want to thank the staff, students, parents, and community for their support during my first year as principal at CIS. I've been welcomed with open arms, and I'm so proud to be part of the CIS family. Our theme this year has been Toy Story. I chose this theme because CIS has a different story than many of the other schools in the state. We serve both elementary students and middle school students. I felt it was important for our story to be heard, and I wanted to create a positive story for our students and staff because I believe in the infinity potential of the students and staff with the highest respect. We have put together a story of CIS. During this video, you will see the turning of pages during a great year of learning, and a huge thank you to Mr. Lynham for his technological skills in creating this video to represent the greatness of our school.
One of the main reasons I love going to CIS is because of my awesome teachers and faculty. Everyone is really kind and well-spoken, which creates a really amazing learning environment. Every teacher is really good at motivating us to learn and making us want to come to school. I love CIS because I have such smart and motivating people around me, which motivates me to learn and grow. One of the main things I love about CIS is its specials, PE, art, media, and music. But my favorite is PE because it's like extra recess, and another reason I love CIS is because I get the opportunity to be with great friends. I got it on jump drive.
Sorry.
Two things I love about CIS is the teachers because they are amazing. They love us and we love them. And then the bus drivers are very, very nice.
What else do you love about CIS? Like, what do you like?
I love the principals.
That's right.
He said, I love our principals.
Sorry, buffer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
The Summer Bridge Academy, Miss Angel Lasher, Chief Academic Officer. Good evening.
I'm just here to provide some information about the summer programs that we'll be offering this summer. We'll be offering the summer reading camp for Read to Achieve like we've done in the past. It's a 72-hour program that the students have to attend if they have not met the requirements for Read to Achieve for third grade. And they also open it up to first and second graders as well. That's going to run June 13th through July 1st, Monday through Friday. Hours will be 7:45 to 12:45 for students and staff, 7:30 to 1:30. We're also going to run a Summer Bridge Academy, which was PRC 176 that we applied for and received funds for. And for that, we targeted our math program. And what we're going to offer students for rising 4th through 9th grade students is a summer camp type program that is going to prepare them for the next grade that they are about to enter. So it's not more of a remediation, but exposing them to more of the high hitter standards or standards that we've talked to all the math teachers that they feel students might be lacking when they come to them. And we're going to target those as well in that 3-week program. That program is a 50-hour program. We're going to run it the same time frame as we run the summer reading camp and run them simultaneously, but it has to be 25 hours towards the targeted skills you're looking at, as well as 25 hours of enrichment or SEL. So we're going to do a little bit of both and offer some really great STEM activities also. And then as part of the Summer Bridge activity program, we are also going to offer, I had a slide, that's why I keep looking up there, but right? Is credit recovery for our 9th through 12th graders for anyone who is not on their graduation cohort because of failure of a core class. And so for that, we will ask them if they are signing up for credit recovery, we are asking them to come to the building where we will provide teachers for each subject about 2 days a week, but just so they're there to support them and help them through that process to be successful and to get back on track. Any questions? All right. Thank you so much.
Camden County Schools Strategic Plan Update, Mr. Larry Lawrence, Chief Operations Officer.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what we've done the last several years. Yeah, as you know, we've added a new walkway from at the middle school, from the school to the gym, which was a project I think we all were trying to get done over quite a few years, but we managed to get that done. We tried to upgrade the press box at the stadium out here. We've done some vehicle replacements, and we've at all the schools, we've updated the phone systems, which is another major task also. We've done that. The projects we're working on right now, Sally, Britton, and myself, on trying to get him a new activity bus. The last 3 years, we've taken it out of the budget, and now we're trying to see if we can fit it in there somewhere, but trying to replace that. We will need to replace the vehicle probably next year, and we're upgrading the fire alarm system at Grandy Primary School. So it's a little difficult now trying to get people to, even though they want to come, won't even come bid on things, or once you get a bid, it won't show up. So it's a little slower than I'd like for it to be, but that's the major projects we're working on right now. Any questions? Thank you all very much.
Now for our student and board member updates, Ms. Libby Coker and Ms. Morgan Bruton.
Okay, so for GPS, their third grade students participated in a pep rally on Monday, and they completed their first reading and math EOGs. They honored Kelly Scott for National School Nurses Week. Brandy also honored Ms. Brickhouse and Ms. Ivans for Administrative Assistant Day. Tomorrow, all of Grandy primary staff and students will be wearing purple and teal in honor of Kate Dean. Please do the same. Next week, they will have kindergarten celebrations in the classroom on Tuesday, May 24th, Group 1 from 9:30 to 10:15 and Group 2, 10:30 to 11:15. The third grade program will be in the gym on Thursday, May 26th at 10. GPS would like to thank Teresa Chappell for her years of service to Camden County School and wish her the best of luck during her retirement. For CIS, they started the week off with a pep rally. They finished testing Tuesday, except for the makeups. The fifth graders went on a field trip to Jeanette's Pier. GPS has also been collaborating with 4-H on science activities. They celebrated their amazing staff during Teacher Appreciation Week. They are looking forward to the end of the year ceremonies and parties, and they are planning for their enrichment, math, and STEM camp. For CMS, they had their 8th grade formal. The PTO and clubs did a great job getting everything set up, and everyone had a great time. They celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week with a lot of food and fun. Spring sports ended last week, and they had their Spring Sport Awards on Monday, March 16th. This week, they started their end of the year testing. Everyone is excited and counting down the days till summer. The 7th grade award program is Thursday, May 26th at 9 a.m., and the 8th grade ceremony is Thursday, May 26th at 1.
For CHS, we celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week during the first week of May, where our teachers and staff were treated to massages in our teachers' lounge, a variety of breakfasts and lunches throughout the week, as well as a special gift for each donated from over 35 local businesses. Our junior ROTC hosted a wonderful spring salute for our students and staff. They recognized each of our Teacher of the Year recipients throughout the district, including the Camden County Schools Teacher of the Year, our very own Master Chief degree. The junior ROTC traveled to the U.S. Coast Guard Shipboard Simulator, where the cadets were able to practice some of their learned skills. They also recently hosted their junior ROTC award ceremony. Congratulations to all of our cadets. English 2 classes attended a forum led by a Holocaust survivor. Thanks to Ms. Simmons for organizing this opportunity for our students. Our FFA students participated in the Home and Garden Expo held at the Museum of the Albemarle. Our seniors had the opportunity to participate in decorating their cars for the senior parade on what turned out to be a beautiful Saturday morning. They also did the graduate walkthrough of both CIS and Grandy. Sawyers Creek Baptist Church hosted a beautiful baccalaureate service for our seniors, and later this month, students will celebrate with a senior cookout. The CCHS band put on a great spring concert, which was hosted at New Community Church in Elizabeth City. Seniors of the National Art Honor Society also hosted a senior art show in the lobby. We had 4 students attend COA's graduation who received their associate's degree. The track team participated in the regional track meet. Our Lady Bruins are the regional champions, and they, along with several of our men's team members, qualified to go to the state meet this Friday. We celebrated our students with the senior and underclassmen awards this week. Our athletic awards will take place on Monday. The girls' softball team is currently in the state playoffs and played East Dublin in the 3rd round on Tuesday. Soccer played Manio in the first round of playoffs on Monday. Teacher-made exams are taking place this week, and our CTE and EOC exams will happen this coming week. We'd like to wish all of our students the best of luck. Graduation will take place on Friday, May 27th at 7 p.m. Congratulations to all of our 2022 graduates. For CEC, students attended the prom on April 30th at the Currituck Extension Center. On May 4th, Teachers of the Year were recognized at a banquet at Montero's. On May 6th, CEC students attended the Junior ROTC Spring Salute to the Teachers of the Year. CEC's Teacher of the Year is Miss April Jackson. Seniors participated in the Senior Parade on Saturday, May 7th. CEC recognized Kim Hollingsworth for Nurses Day on May 11th. CEC had 21 students graduate from COA with an associate's degree or certificate. On May 13th, seniors participated in the senior walkthrough, which took place at GPS and CIS. CEC also had Senior Day, Sign My Sign, and a celebration provided by POW. On May 15th, seniors attended the baccalaureate service, which was held at Sawyers Creek Baptist Church. May 16th through the 18th were teacher-made exams and EOCs. CEC celebrated students at the Underclassmen Awards, which were held on May 17th. May 19th was graduation practice for marshals and their graduates. On May 20th, CEC had students who will be participating in the track meet. On May 21st, the Lady Bruins softball team will play in round 4 of the state playoffs. And on May 21st is the 2021 and 22 CEC graduation. Thank you.
Thank you. In your board package was your monthly financial update. Is there any questions? Seeing none. Item G is new school construction update. Dr. Jason Banks.
I sent you another one. That's one. I gotta turn the air conditioner down, so we just gotta talk loud because it's, I'll see you in the back. We'll have to be really loud so people can hear.
So in an effort to be transparent, with a community that has stood so strongly with us to get a new high school construction project off the ground, worked really hard to go through the bond referendum and get that passed. A lot of talk has been around the community lately as far as the purchase of new land for a new high school. So this is an effort to give you guys some information before the public hearing, and just be totally transparent with everybody. The current site on 343, well, let me back up just another second. The way that the new site was presented to everyone was that it was going to save the county money because the soil was better in that site versus the current site on 343. So the current land on 343 is paid for. So I kind of equate that to zero. The estimate or really bid for site work at that location was $4.2 million. So that's how much that site is going to cost us to get a buildable construction site. The proposed site on 158, we found out the price tag just about the same time everybody else did. It is $1.75 million for just the property. The estimate that we have received from MB is $5.2 million for site improvement. You probably just did some quick math. The estimated loss on engineering studies from the current site on 343 would be approximately $250,000. That's how much money we've already paid that we would essentially lose by having to start over at a new site. So on the flip side of that is you add another $250,000 or so to the new site. So rough estimate, and pretty close, is $7.4 million, $7,462,086 for the new site. A little over $3.2 million difference. If we were to add any additional acreage for the construction site on the new site, it could be as much as another $1.5 million.
I get the short slide on this one. Other considerations that people have brought to us, and we have the same concerns, the transmission lines that are running over that entire length of that property. It's very limited what can be done in, underneath, and around the towers themselves, plus 120-foot right-of-way on either side of those lines. Basically parking lot, and we're not even 100% sure that they're going to allow parking all the way out to the road, which may set the project further back, which is land they haven't included acquiring. I don't need a traffic study. I don't think anybody sitting in this room does. Outside of the school traffic at pickup and drop-off times on 343, there's not a lot of traffic on 343 as a normal means. It's getting busier, but it's not horrible. 158 is busy. When I leave for work at 4:30 in the morning, there's 7 or 8 cars when I turn off to go to 34 that are already heading down towards the beach every single morning of the week. Traffic going out that way is worse, other than the school-made traffic that we create for ourselves, which is going to be there with the other sites that are already there anyway. I don't feel that it's safer out 158 than it is on 343 at the current site. The new site is definitely pushing further away from where the growth of the county is currently happening in South Mills. We're already, I won't say there's discussions, but there's already talks that 30, 40, 50 years, and please get that on the Facebook Warrior pages. Nobody's talking about another new school, but the next one to be built will probably have to be up in South Mills just to make it make sense with the number of people going up there. Why are we going to move to another site that's pushing further and further away from where all the development is happening in the county? Okay, what do you want? I don't care.
So where we stand, the Board of Education never requested or encouraged the county to find alternate sites, as reports have indicated. While the soil at the current site is less than desirable, it is not unsuitable for construction. I think it's pretty misleading to say so. Any site in northeastern North Carolina will require substantial site work for a project like this.
Hang on that one.
All right.
I'm gonna leave it there. Just to reiterate what Dr. Banks is saying, there's been a lot of no information, misinformation, bad information, and just false information that's gone out about this new land that popped up at the public hearing last month at the BOC. This board has never requested or encouraged a movement from our site. We were ready a year ago when we put shovels in the ground on 343. We already submitted bid packages and had them back to start work then on that site. We just want to make sure we're clear with everybody in the community for transparency. This board has not asked for anybody to look into or encourage any movement of the current site that we're already talking about building on. And anybody saying that that site is unusable is mistaken. It's not great. It's like Northeast North Carolina dirt around here is. It doesn't matter where you build a school or a building this large, there's going to be a lot of cut and fill. Probably a little bit more than there is over on the 158 site, but I don't think it's going to be $3.2 to $3.4 million worth. And that's the financial sense to the taxpayer. That's the actual money to the taxpayer with all these figures that are floating around. Moving the site would actually cost we'd have to save $3.4 million in work over here at the current site to make it even remotely feasible for the taxpayers to move the site to 158.
So if we were talking about a new site that would save us money, I think we'd all be in favor of that. So what do we stand to lose by delaying? So if we move to the new site, design work has got to happen again in order to get us ready. That's going to be at least a 3-month process, maybe longer. Starting site work like that in December is not ideal by any means, anytime during the wintertime. The Board of Commissioners has not locked in the interest rate for the USDA loan. When the bond referendum was passed, the interest rates were 2%. 2% interest over a 30-year period equates for about $10.9 million in interest cost over the term of the loan. The current interest rate right now is 2.5, set to expire in June, I believe, sometime in June.
June 30th.
Everybody knows rates are going up. So the difference between 2% and 2.5% is not huge. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but still, I'd take 2.5% any day on most loans. So we look at a difference of $13.9 million versus $10.9 million. So difference of $3 million over 30 years. If it goes up to 3%, it's $17.1 million in interest cost over that 30 years. So a difference of $7 million over that 30-year term. And, 3% is just a guesstimate. I don't know what the interest rate will be the next time USDA comes along. So other than the $3 million of moving the site, we've got the interest savings to consider. That was
it. In meeting with MB Con, since this new site has become a possibility, who's the project designer for us, 6 months would be a long range goal to begin work and actually break ground at the 343 site. Moving this site to 158 at best 9 months, more than likely 12 months before we can break ground. All the site decisions, everything has to be done before we can get USDA to give us that lock-in letter, and that's really what we're after to stop the interest rate. That can be done quite shortly, I'd say within 30 days probably, if we decide to keep where we are. Moving it, we have to get all the engineering work, the site work, all that stuff has to be redone, redrawn by the architect to make sure everything's going to fit on that site before we can get in another lot rate. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, maybe 6. Before that happens, it's going to end up, we're going to catch another interest rate hike, which is more money out of the taxpayers' pockets to make this happen. I don't think that we're up here to persuade or anything. We just want to lay out some of the rumors and the things that have been going around the county. That's where this board stands when we found out the things we found out and the price tag that we found out probably a few hours before the newspaper and the Board of Commissioners meet to put it out there in public. So we just want some transparency for everybody out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything to say? Feel free.
You guys did a good job.
Okay, Lynn. Seeing no further discussion, we'll move to the action agenda. Item A, face coverings, policy code 4231.
As you know, you all are required by law to consider your face coverings policy every month until June of 2022. And so it is on the agenda for your discussion and consideration tonight.
Do we need to suspend if we're not changing anything?
Things that we didn't last time.
Mr. Heath has made a motion that we make no changes to the policy.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purcell. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Board of Education meeting calendar, Dr. Farrell.
In your board package for tonight, we included the schedule of your regular monthly meetings according to policy for your consideration. And I would, my recommendation would be that you approve this calendar for the meeting calendar for the 22-23 school year.
Motion approved.
Motion by Ms. Eilert to approve the superintendent's recommendation for Board of Education meeting calendar for 2022-23 year.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purcell. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Board of Education meeting for end of year closeout amendments, Dr. Farrell.
It's that time of year again where the board needs to select a meeting date. Ms. Norfleet and her staff prefer it be as late in June as possible so that they can get everything ready for the end of year closeout amendments. And so in speaking with her, she is requesting that you consider June 28th or 29th. But we need to select a date tonight.
Either one's fine.
Either one's fine.
Did you say?
No preference today?
If the board has no preference, we would request that you schedule it for the 29th.
All right.
What time did you say, Jeff?
We usually schedule that one at 6 p.m. Is that right? We can schedule it any time that we can schedule it at a time that works for you all. If 5 works, that's fine. At 5:30.
Can you get there at 5?
I can do 5.
Can you do 5 days?
To advertise our June 9th meeting, June 29th at 5 o'clock at the central office.
Yes, sir. We will get that meeting advertised. Yes.
Need to advertise a closed session, or we're going to have school board, student board member interviews then.
We typically do have student board member interviews that evening as well. We have gotten, I believe, 2 applications so far. So if you all would like to schedule that for the same evening, we will advertise a closed session as well.
Everybody's in agreement, so we will have a special call meeting for June 29th at 5 p.m. in the central office for the purpose of end of year closeout and a closed session for student confidentiality. Item D, Camden County Schools Student Accident Insurance Coverage. Ms. Ina Lane, Chief Student Services Officer.
several years, Camden County Schools has been very satisfied with McGriff Insurance Services for providing our student accident and athletic insurance program. Each year, we review submissions sent to us from various companies, and McGriff has consistently been the company that offers the highest quality service. The plans are underwritten by Axis Insurance Company and administered by K&K Insurance Group. American Advantage is endorsed by North Carolina Athletic Directors Association and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Camden uses the voluntary insurance plan only. Forms are given to the students at the beginning of each school year, and parents can then enroll online. To my knowledge, the company has continued to provide outstanding service to our students and parents. In addition, the North Carolina Board of Education and general statutes now prohibit the North Carolina High School Athletic Association from providing catastrophic insurance coverage for athletes. Therefore, at the beginning of the 2022-2023 school year, schools are responsible for providing their own catastrophic insurance coverage. Ms. Norfleet is aware of this, and the North Carolina Department of Insurance is currently working on the particulars to ensure that each district is in compliance with the general statutes. I wanted to make you aware of this development and let you know that Ms. Norfleet and I will have more details at the June meeting. We're supposed to have that closed out by June 30th. So, and we don't have the rates or anything really tamped down. So it'll be June before I can give you any more information, but we do have to provide that insurance now.
So are you going to request that they approve all insurance at the June meeting, or do you want the student accident insurance?
If we could approve the student accident tonight, that would be great. The other piece was just for information.
Okay. So with that, my recommendation would be that you approve the student accident insurance coverage as presented by Ms. Lane.
Motion by Dr. Banks to accept the superintendent's recommendation to accept services for student accident insurance coverage as presented by Ms. Lane.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purcell. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very
Ms. Lane.
much.
Thank you, Emily.
NCSBA PLS update, spring 2022 policy updates. Dr. Farrell.
Okay, so these are the policy updates that the board is contracted with the North Carolina School Boards Association to keep all of our policies updated on a regular basis. And this is the spring update. It's pretty extensive. I'm sure you've seen that already. What I would ask tonight is that you table these policies for customary review until our next regular meeting.
Motion table.
Motion by Dr. Banks to table put it away. The NCSBA PLS update for spring 2022 policy updates. Seconded by Ms. Idlet. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. CTE local application, Ms. Carol Overton, Director of CTE and Instructional Technology.
There we go. So this is Ms. Lasher's side. I had the brilliant idea to put all our PowerPoints on one presentation tonight so we wouldn't have technical difficulties. Might be looking for a new job tomorrow. What? Oh. Again, we're gonna look for a new job tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna skip my PowerPoint. The CTE local application system has been developed in compliance with Perkins 5, the Strengthening Career and Technical Education for the 21st Century Act. The local application serves as the district's planning document, an application for CTE state and federal funding for fiscal year 2023. It's a compliance document which meets all the requirements of Perkins. Part 1 of this local application describes the improvement process that will take place over the next 2 years. Local benchmarks for the current year and future years have been identified, and performance data will serve as our indicators of success. Here's our success for this year. At Camden Middle School in agriculture, we installed raised beds. We installed a classroom hydroponic system, and the FFA team placed first in several of their CDEs. Is it going to work? For business at the middle school, we hosted our first career fair at the first of the month for the 8th grade, and that was a huge successful event. We'll build on that for next year for the high school. We have our college and career ready lab, which we launched. Y'all saw a demonstration of that last month. We also hosted a showcase for local leaders and school districts in our local area to see it. It, as Mr. Reeves has said, has been the most popular item. For Camden County High School, as of today, 412 students have received credentials in food handler, CERT, CPR, first aid, customer sales and service, stop the bleed, NC firefighter, NC hunter safety, Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, OSHA 10 with construction and health science. Our highlights of the year, student projects, you'll see some welding projects done in our welding class. You'll see a dog box built by the construction class. Field trips have been the blessing. Everyone is excited. We've done COA Chef for the Day, gone to the Currituck campus for public safety, health science, and industry, Tides ball game, and our health science classes participated in service learning projects with Eastern AHAC. Our FFA has 2 state-winning teams. One of those senior teams will qualify to compete at the national convention. They've got a state FFA recipient and an American FFA recipient. They've worked with first grade students in Ag Day, and they also received the North Carolina Beekeeping Grant. The North Carolina Center for Advancement of Teaching started this year a CTE Teacher of the Year for the state. So our first nominee for our district to go on to the Northeast region is Miss Jennifer Barcliffe. And a project that was completed today, the greenhouse got its final repair job. It has new upper panels. Also, our work-based learning students presented today. We want to thank our business partners for providing students with these internships. They hosted at Almore YMC, Barco Brothers Farm, Camden Soil and Water, Elizabeth City Parks and Rec. They had 2 unpaid interns, and after their service, led to summer employment for them. They also hosted a cornhole tournament. That was their event that they planned for downtown a couple of weeks ago, and that was them presenting in Topside Restaurant. So for fiscal year 2023, our goals, I've already started: improve academic and technical skills, increase our student credentials, increase career awareness. To improve on the academic and technical skills of our students, our CTE program will specifically focus on the improvement of academic proficiency in reading, language arts, math, and science through our PLC planning with the academic department. Our technical skills improvement efforts will focus on the 2 CTE performance quality measures, the increase of student industry recognized credential attainment, and improve student performance on CTE assessments and performance-based measures. In addition, students are provided guidance to participate in career awareness and development opportunities while following a career pathway of their choice, such as ag, construction, health science, finance, hospitality, tourism, human services, law and public safety, manufacturing, and transportation. Career pathways provide students with the opportunity to become in academic and technical courses while becoming a CTE concentrator. Students also have the opportunity through CTE to accelerate their learning through articulated credit with the community college system and opportunities to participate in career and college promise coursework at the community college level. By approving this plan, we are assuring that the development of this application for state and federal aid for secondary career and technical education was coordinated by the Director for Career and Technical Education. This plan and the programs, services, activities offered are in accordance with state and federal guidelines. The information, data, and certifications included are accurate to the best of our knowledge and belief. These assurances and certifications confirm that the local education agency's capacity to carry out the state and federal legal requirements during the time frame of this application.
So my recommendation is that you approve the CTE local application as presented by Ms. Overton.
Motion by Mr. Purcell to accept the superintendent's recommendation for the CTE local application as presented by Ms. Overton. Seconded by Dr. Banks. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thanks.
AIG plan, Ms. Monique Hicks, Director of EC and Special Programs.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight with Catherine Woodward, who is our AIG facilitator in the district, to present the 2022-2025 AIG plan for approval. So just to give everybody some perspective about the demographics of our AIG population, out of the 1,942 students in Camden County, and I didn't capitalize Camden, but it's okay. 176 students, or 9%, are identified as AIG. And when you compare that to our EC population, that is at April head count, we had 231 students identified with disabilities. That makes up about a 12% part of our population. So they're not real far off from each other, and they're kind of where they need to be. The state puts a cap of, I think it's 12.95% for EC, so we're just below that. We had gotten well below that, and now we're creeping back up as COVID comes back in. But so, you know, our identified AIG students are really in line with both ends of our spectrum as far as special populations go. Our AIG program looks very different across the district. In our K-6 setting, students are challenged in both the classroom setting as well as during their enrichment time. Middle school and high school, that looks a little different because we don't have pullout at middle school and high school. And so they receive a lot of their services and support through their advanced coursework and accelerated coursework, such as honors classes, AP classes, things of that nature. And as far as the AIG program goes, it's our intention to continue on this pathway to strengthen AIG services and program management to ensure that the needs of these students are met and the potential of AIG students is optimally developed. And that's actually verbiage from the state plan. And I'm just going to highlight a couple of reasons why. Oh, sorry. Thank you. That's why she's with me. She keeps me straight. There is a statute that actually delivers rights to students who are identified as AIG. And so Catherine's going to talk, Ms. Woodward's going to talk more about that. Also, we've had credit by demonstrated mastery has been around for a long time. And so that's not anything new. But these are some of the things that we're talking about are just general legislative impacts that have happened over the years. We also have the recent level 5 math legislation where students who score level 5, they must be given some type of supported services and advanced accelerated instruction. And that can look different depending on, doesn't necessarily have to mean the same thing as what AIG students get, but they have to have the opportunity to have accelerated instruction. And then also the push for 9th grade dual credit legislation. And in Camden County, we currently recognize that at second semester for 9th grade students so that they get a chance to get into the high school, get their footing, get a chance to be freshmen and not have that pressure, and then we see if they can handle those kind of courses. Okay.
You pressing the button?
Yep.
Okay. This is actual verbiage from Article 9B. I'm Catherine Woodward, by the way. I did not introduce myself. So basically, Article 9B just gives rights to our gifted students. It basically says that you cannot really exclude them from anything, that they have to have services in some sort of capacity. And the state is continually strengthening what they give us in order to ensure that our students are getting what they need through Article 9B. We'll go to the next one. This year,
our standards actually increased. They gave us a few more things that we had to do for our gifted students, and therefore it is reflected in our plan, more services for our gifted students. That the state is really pushing that we give them more services. So this just kind of breaks down the standards, and it's linked in there, I guess. But I'm going to just highlight some of the things, some of the changes that we're putting into our plan. This is a 3-year plan. So in 3 years, you'll get to hear me talk again about the next plan. Go ahead. There were around 15 changes to standards. A lot of it was verbiage and wording, but it was basically because they want to make sure that everybody is getting what they need from kindergarten to 12th grade. So some of the wording was, instead of the needs of gifted students, they said addressing the academic and intellectual needs of students. There was also some social emotional verbiage that changed a little bit, making sure that these students are getting what they need, not only academically, but also social emotionally. Especially, I don't know if that was COVID based, but we tend to see some social emotional needs with our gifted students as well. So I'm gonna roll on. There are some minor changes in the plan because of the verbiage, but what I want to highlight here for you today are 2 major changes. The identification of AIG students in Camden County, and then the service of our students. Basically because the state has pushed for both of those things. So beginning last year, we implemented the use of the cognitive abilities test to screen 2nd grade students for their for AIG eligibility and services. This is just a screener. This is not the end all be all. You never get seen again type of thing. I actually look at students again in 3rd grade, and then we look at them again a little further up if we need to. It kind of allows us to screen everybody. It used to be based on teacher recommendation. So now we really get to see the picture of all the students, whether they were just a quiet kid in the classroom, or sometimes they were really loud, but we really get to see them all. We identify approximately 20 students a year out of the entire grade level using this screener. And we've also been able to identify some twice exceptional students, which means they might have an IEP in reading, but then they're gifted in math. So that's been really helpful. I'm glad we were able to catch those students and get them the services that they need. It also helps me with pull-out times and seeing where their strengths are, math or reading, et cetera, because it gives us a really good breakdown of the score. And this is actually used in a lot of districts close to us, as well as in Virginia. So when we get scores from somewhere else or a student transfers in, it's easier for us to see what they might measure up to. Services have changed a little bit. AIG students used to just get enrichment pull-out services. The state has really pushed that they get more academic time. So in grades 3-6, I actually pull them from their core instruction twice a week. That has worked out amazing this year. I have worked really well with teachers, and we have been able to collaborate wonderfully. I feel like that has been very beneficial to all of our students, not just our gifted students. And in the K2 role, I'm able to pull them during some enrichment time. I've also pushed into some kindergarten math classes. We've been able to do reading groups with some students. So again, beneficial for all the students, not just our gifted students. At the middle school level, starting next year, they're going to be offering accelerated courses in both math and ELA. And what that kind of looks like is that they're going to accelerate the standards and move very quickly, and then kind of start covering the next year's standards towards the end of the year. And I'd like to thank Mr. Reeves for his work on that too. But that's another step for our middle school students that we didn't really have last year. I think I'm really excited about that program. There's some things that they have to do in order to get into those courses. It's not just like you select it and go. They're writing SMART goals. They're really showing that there's teacher recommendations. So they're showing that there's a need for those classes. Is that it?
And simply stated, I'll be on the soapbox for, just good teaching. It's all about differentiation for all students on all levels all the time. That's how you get students to grow. Okay.
We need to approve this. My recommendation is that you approve the AIG plan as presented by Ms. Hicks and Ms. Woodward.
Motion by Mr. Heath to accept the superintendent's recommendation to accept the AIG plan as presented by Ms. Hicks and Ms. Woodward.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Idlet. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. NC Green Power Solar Schools, Mr. Mike Reeves and Ms. Jennifer Durham.
Good evening. Ms. Durham is going to do most of the talking because she's done all the heavy lifting on this and really put it together. But we received a grant from the NC's Green Power Schools to install a solar array at one of our sites. And then we can use the whole curriculum that goes along with it to do that. But part of that process is we have to get approval. We have to go into it. There's like the lawyers got involved and there's a contract and all that fun stuff. But we've hammered out, I think, all of that stuff so we all agree on that. But we just want to give you guys some information about it and let you know where we're going. But I'm going to turn it over to the smart people to talk.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Durham. So I applied for this grant. It's Duke Energy has one, but you have to be in Duke area. But this is the NC Green Power. It's Solar Plus Schools grant. So what they do is they actually give you, it's overall a $42,000 package. You get a solar array of 12 panels. It's about 3 watts. So I think Buddy said it could run an air conditioning unit or something. So it's not a lot of power, but as you can see, there's 3 different types. There's like the roof mounted, that's an awning one. And then we're looking at the pole one, where it sits on a pole and it connects to the power. The $42,000 package is just for the solar panel package. Then there is $14,000 that in the grant that includes sun power modules. So the kids will actually get to work with these little modules that will connect to the solar panels. Also, it's a full curriculum. It's called the NEED curriculum, and it's all about solar energy, climate, and those sorts of things, because it also gives a weather station with it. So no matter what, there's a whole curriculum that can guide teachers. The teachers get training as well. So there's not a thing like we don't know what to do with it. They tell you what to do with it, right? So a lot of guidance there. We do have to raise a portion of that. That was based on, the amount was based on the amount of free and reduced lunch. So in this county, we kind of got the maximum that we had to do. So, but it's $12,000. It does include a reserve for repairs. If we raise more, that would just go into an account for any repairs that come along the way. They actually set up a fundraising page for us. So they do all the heavy lifting on that. We really just have to share it. A lot of the schools have gone directly to the power company and whatever power company they have, and they're usually willing to put in a good chunk of it. So the NEED curriculum, it's basically gives you a full package of different projects that you can do, and it provides like hands-on materials as well. All of the curriculum follows the NC Science standards, so it's going to fall into like environmental science. In middle grades, it's 7th grade with weather and energy, and then 8th grade, we go over non-renewable and renewable resources and stuff. So all of that connects in. Also with mathematics, it has a bunch of statistics that go along with it. There's an actual real-time monitoring of that. And so math students can use it, science students can use it. Really, it depends on how you look at it. Any of the students could really use it.
And once we have it, any school in the district can
Yeah.
access it. It's not just a middle school thing.
Yeah.
Anybody can access it, and see the data, and use it in there, incorporate in what they have going on.
So this is an example of one of the arrays that a school has. So he's going to click on the link just to show you what real-time monitoring looks like for it. There's probably not anything going on now because there's no sun. Fine. Ooh. Yeah, so go to any of them. I think Edgecomb's good. Cookies. So all of this stuff, it digs into analysis. It tells you about the power. Obviously, it's offline right now because there is no sun. But it shows you the energy balance, the energy that it created, how much savings has been made in energy costs. And then also it talks about the carbon footprint. It gives a lot of the weather stuff on there too. But then there's like an analysis tab and another tab. And like I said, the curriculum will also help them deep dive into the data. Are there any questions?
Did they check Green Power? Are they helping us find an installer? Or are we on our own?
No,
They're doing it.
But they're going
That's part of that 42,000 that they send the installer and everything, and they work with yeah.
They'll send an engineer out, and they'll work with our facilities department to exactly where is it going to be located, exactly how does it tie in, all that kind of stuff, and then they'll come and actually install it.
So they'll fill out the interconnection agreement and everything with the utility.
Sir?
I guess they'll fill out this interconnection agreement requirement with the utility.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
They'll handle all that. So we don't have to worry about it. Okay.
No, the way I understand it, we do.
I guess John's reviewed this, obviously the lawyer.
Yes, and they, well, actually, Andrew Howe reviewed the contract, sent recommendations. We sent that to the attorneys for NC Green Power. They agreed ultimately to all the changes after a little bit of back and forth. And so John's team is comfortable at this point moving forward with the agreement.
Is this going to actually be tied back in to the building, the grid, or is it
Yes,
just
sir.
producing like battery cells just so they can test stuff?
No, it actually ties back into the building. That's
Well,
one
it
of the
depends on how
things
they do the
that's what they have to work out with the facilities folks.
There's multiple options. They can tie directly to the grid as well.
I'm just curious as to which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Not that I would not recommend it anyway. I'm just curious.
Yeah. But according to this, it says interconnection agreement. They got 3 options, and one is directly to the utility.
And I
That
think,
might be the easiest way, honestly. But we can talk. I'll talk about that with. I'll actually have to do that since you're doing the middle school. But I'll talk about that with.
I don't know if we'll install it at the middle school.
Well, one of the things that we need
Oh yeah, if you don't do the middle school.
that we need to consider is whether or not at some point this site will likely become the middle school.
Yeah,
So we've
sure.
talked about putting it here since it's a long-term thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you might want to put it here then.
And we can still access it all, even though it's all
Yeah.
here. So. And the high school can tap into it at that time as well. So.
Is there any, I know it's science and math, is there any CTE portion to this that might come out? Like, we all know solar farms are growing and popping up everywhere around us. Is there a way to link some CTE stuff to it?
The Department of Public Instruction is working on some CTE curriculum
that goes into solar panels. It won't launch this year, it'll be the next school year.
Career lab section that has solar panels and renewable energy. That's part of the career lab already, so we could tie it in that way. And I was actually talking with Miss Forbes, and one of the classes she's going to be teaching next year, they touch on renewable energy as well. So it can also get tied in through there. So, but I don't think there's like a full curriculum like not standalone yet.
No, they're working on it.
Pretty cool. Thank you.
Is there a certain commitment time?
Till it.
Like how many years?
Yeah, like a commitment to have it, to keep
was in the
keep
contract.
the.
20 to 30
20 to
is what they put it to. Basically, it's having a sign saying that we're an NC Solar Plus school, and of course the solar panel array itself. But yeah, basically they had it. I think they had it in the contract, like it was like an infinite thing.
It was indefinite the way it was written originally, but
Right.
Andrew and the attorney for NC Green Power kind of went back and forth. They ultimately decided they needed to have some kind of term on it. And they said they'd be willing to do a 20 to 30 year term, and they'd be okay to put it in at 2052. And both sides were okay with that.
Well, then technology can be so old anyway.
Yeah.
It progresses.
So what does that mean as far as you have to keep doing some kind of curriculum with it during that time period, or you have to maintain the any components of it?
We have there's a maintenance responsibility part of it. That's part of the fundraising and stuff. There is a maintenance part of it that you have to continue to do. And then the curriculum is available to use throughout that whole entire time.
Yeah. And that comes with the package itself.
Mhm. I guess I'm asking, is there any commitment at any point in time? We just say, we're not doing this anymore. Then they come back and say, well, you owe us X number of dollars of this grant back.
Well, the way it's written is that NC Green Power is apparently paying for the first 12 years, and then after that, it switches over to the Board of Education.
Paying for what?
Yeah, just the maintenance and the contract, and I think it's, yeah, so the section 7 of the agreement originally contemplated at least 17 years. It was unclear. 12 in which NC Green provides cellular service, and additional 5 in which the school provides cellular service. I'm not sure about maintenance. That's just cellular services discussed in that paragraph, and I'm not sure there is a maintenance expense. Is there?
No, only if something breaks. And that's what that reserve is with the fundraising. So they have that. We're required to have it's $3,000, I think, in our fundraising portion to have as like a nest egg when we first started. So.
Thank you.
So my recommendation is that you approve the contract with NC Green Power to accept the grant and move forward with this project.
Something down in the bottom.
If John's
Motion to approve.
he's fine with it.
Motion by Mr. Purcell to approve the superintendent's recommendation for NC Green Power Solar Schools Grant.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Idlet. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Superintendent's recommendation for closed session.
My recommendation is that you approve the personnel report as presented by Ms. Anderson in closed session.
Make a motion to approve the personnel report.
Dr. Banks has made a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation of personnel as presented by Ms. Anderson in closed session.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purcell. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Announcements. For Camden County High School, May 19th is the Underclassmen Awards at 6:30. And May 23rd is the Athletic Awards at 5 p.m. And May 27th will be graduation at 7 p.m., all held at Camden County High School. Camden Early College High School, May 21st will be the graduation in the Camden County High School gym at 10 a.m. May 23rd will be Athletic Awards at 5 p.m. Camden County High School. Camden Middle School, May 26th, the seventh grade ceremony at 9 a.m. And also on May 26th will be the eighth grade ceremony at 1 p.m. The Camden Intermediate School, May 25th will be fourth grade breakfast and awards program at 9 o'clock. And fifth grade breakfast and awards program at 11 o'clock. May 26th will be sixth grade breakfast and program at 11:30. And on May 27th will be the last day and is our early release day. Granite Primary School, May 24th is a kindergarten program at 9 a.m. and 10:30 in classrooms. And May 26th will be a third grade program at 9 a.m. in the gym. And first and second grade classroom parties at 1 o'clock. Does anyone else have any other announcements? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion that we recess open session and return to closed. Motion by Mr. Purcell, seconded by Ms. Abbott, that we recess open session to return to close. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We recess to open session and we'll take a short recess to allow everyone to leave the room. Thank you.